Hey guys, in this video, we're gonna be talking about how I plan to retire by age 30. Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that I fully acknowledge how fortunate of a situation I had while growing up. And this video just serves as sharing my story and how I plan to retire by 30. So if you don't have all the same perks that I had while growing up, just know that you can still retire at an early age. It might not be 30, you might have to work a little bit harder and you might have to take a little bit more time, but you can do it too, trust me. All right, let's get on into it. So I would say that my financial journey began when I was about 15 years old, when I first started to understand how money works. When I was 15, I was a sophomore in high school, and my high school actually offered a class called Money Smart. And the whole premise of this class was to teach Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University in an online schooling system format. And when I was taking this class, I really started to enjoy personal finance and money, and it really sparked my interest on compound interest and how you can have your money work even harder than you can, and then you don't even have to lift a finger to make even more money. After I finished that class, I moved on to what I call stage 2 of my financial journey, which is still learning, start working. And I was about 16 to 18 while this stage was going on in my life. This is when I got my first job working as a Walmart associate, stocking groceries in the freezer section of Walmart, making $12 an hour, which isn't a lot of money right now to me, but back then it was a ton of money. And this goes a little bit deeper because my parents were upper middle class and they paid for every one of my living expenses when I was in high school, which I am extremely grateful for. And they actually told me to not get a job in high school because they wanted me to focus all my energy on getting good grades and getting into a good college. However, I insisted on getting the job anyway because I knew that it would be productive and beneficial for myself in the future, saving up a little bit of money, because after learning all the things I did on personal finance and compound interest, any money I could earn now would just set me up later in life. And for what the job was, working 6 to 7 hour shifts, freezing my tail off in the freezer section, I kind of enjoyed it. I would go to work, I would put my headphones in, and I would listen to financial content on YouTube while I was stocking groceries, because they kind of just left 16-year-old me in the back room by himself to manage the entire freezer section. That's a whole nother story. Walmart's kind of a circus, but that's besides the point. I started to dive a little bit deeper into personal finance, and I learned about investing and compound interest and leveraging your money and how to actually build wealth. And around this time, I started to develop my plan, taking bits and pieces from all the different things that I've learned from these financial YouTubers and putting them together into my plan, which I think is really important because at the end of the day, this is going to be your story and you can tell it however which way you want it. So make sure that it's the way you want to tell it.
Can I have a story, please?
And this brings me to about stage 3, and this is where I actually started to flesh out my plan and how I was going to build wealth. And it went as follows. Step number 1, graduate high school and get into college. This step is pretty self-explanatory. Again, I was extremely lucky and fortunate to have my parents be able to pay for my entire college tuition. And I knew that I wanted to go to college, 1, because I wanted that college experience, and 2, I knew that getting a college degree would get me a higher income and help me find a job, especially in the field that I was going into, which was computer science. Step number 2 was to get my degree in computer science as quick as possible while working in the summer months. This was my grind phase. I already had a bunch of credits built up from high school, and so I knew I could graduate college early. And so I really went after it. I took full semesters. I was able to graduate with 3 years. And then in the summer months, I worked 55, 65 hours a week, every single week, just to save up and give myself a nice foundation once I graduate college. Step number 3 was to find a full-time position after college that pays me decent money. Since my whole goal was to retire by 30, I knew that I needed to make decent money straight out of college, and that's what I did. Step number 4 was to max out my Roth IRA and get the full employer match in my 401k every single year. This is a step I've preached in multiple of my videos before. You gotta be taking advantage of your tax advantage retirement accounts because they're the best way to build wealth. Step 5 was then save up for my first down payment on a multifamily property that I was going to house hack. For those of you who don't know, house hacking is where you buy a property and then you rent out either the other units or some of the other rooms in the unit, and then you have that rental income supplement your living expense. So then you can either live for super cheap or sometimes even free. Since your living expense is gonna be the biggest category in your budget, really cutting down on this is just gonna free up so much income for you to save and invest and make even more money. Which brings me into step 6, which is rinse and repeat.
Lather, rinse, and repeat. Always repeat.
While I'll be house hacking one property, I'll be saving up for another down payment for another rental property. And this is the plan that I've made and I'm sticking to it.
I'm not fucking leaving!
Right now, I just turned 21 years old and I've completed the first 3 steps of my plan. I graduated college in 3 years and I got a full-time position working at United Health Group right out of college. So far so good, I guess. I am currently on steps 4 and 5 of my plan, and I will be making a video on my exact financial situation and where I'm at right now in the future, so stay tuned for that. At the end of the day, a plan is just a plan, and it holds no meaning unless you go out there and execute your plan. As the great Shia LaBeouf once said,
Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
all right, and with that, I want to thank all you guys for watching. If you could, do the stuff that's on the screen right here below me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.